Good evening, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart. This is a market update for Friday, November 22nd, 2013. Tomorrow is the 50th anniversary of JFK assassination, and honestly, I do remember exactly where I was when I first heard that news. And I'm sure everybody who was around does remember. Anyway, I have got thunderstorms moving here into Dallas, the Dallas area. Our temperature is currently 72, and it's supposed to go to 30 something by morning. So cold front's coming in, and I'm going to get this in before the power goes out. Hopefully that won't happen. But anyway, all right, let's get started. Let me pull up the Dow Jones Industrial Average as the first chart here, and we got a close over 16,000 for the first time ever. So we kind of toyed with you. You saw how we were up here intraday, and then we got the close. So again, we talked about these two dojis on Tuesday evening. We did get the sell-off, kind of a different from here, where we got a rise, then a sell-off, then a rise. We got a sell-off, now the rise. Now it'll be interesting to see what we get tomorrow. We get further rally, like I hope we do. And continue to push up for another couple of days. We'll see. Right now, I mean, my best take on this is that we are in a fifth wave. We've had 3, 4. We're in a fifth wave. And in the fifth wave, we've had 1, 2. We're in the third of 5 waves of the fifth wave. Okay? Hopefully you follow that. And it's a little bit clearer over here on the S&P 500. And although it's very similar count, this is the way I've got the count. We bottomed here early October for the fourth wave in an ABC correction, and now again 1, 2, and wave 3 of 5. Now we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're in this fifth wave of this third wave, and this can push. This can push for a while. So I'm fully expecting this to move up into the 1800s. We should get a close above 1800 hopefully tomorrow. I mean, if the Dow's closing above 16,000, this should be closing above 1800. So Nasdaq's in this channel, very tight. This is the way this thing has been rising the whole time. I'm kind of suspicious that, I know this is a pretty good angle, but I'm kind of wondering, you know how we've gone horizontal here a little bit, kind of like we did here? We could get a vertical push out of this channel and get us into something that, we get something here, we get a push, and then we're in a channel that's going at a more steeper angle that leads to more of the blow-off type scenario that could happen. I don't know. I mean, let me go back to my mouse here. When you go back to, see if I still have it in here. Oh, I may or may not. Okay, here's 99. Okay, in the blow off to the Y2K 2000 when the Nasdaq went to 5,000. Okay, you had this channel. Now our channel's a little bit steeper than this. Then it broke out of the top end of that channel, and it had gone into a much steeper scenario in here. It's not a very good channel, is it? But anyway, you get the point. So I'm thinking that there's a real possibility that something like that could happen. All right, let's go on. That's the Nasdaq. We talked about Dow. Let me hit the Homebuilders ETF. This is kind of interesting. It looks like we're getting ready to push. We've been in somewhat of a tight symmetrical triangle since the May high. Okay. And it looks like we're getting ready to break out of it, which would be a good thing for, kind of a reaffirmation at the home builders. And here's the finance guys, finance ETF breaking out of this horizontal consolidation here and pushing higher, which again, this is now in sync with the indices pushing to new highs, which is a good thing. All right, I'm going to take a look at a bunch of stocks. Look at 3D Systems is the first one. I think 3D System is topped out. I think we've had our 5 waves up from, from a long way. From back, well, actually, it looks like the March 2009 bottom You know, we had a big first wave, then we had a second wave, third, fourth, and this fifth wave looks like it's just completed. You know, it's really interesting. I mean, here you got one. This is like a diagonal, leading diagonal first wave, which is kind of a little bit rare. 2, 3, a very complex, choppy, I think, wave 4 throughout this, because this is fairly clear 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. Okay, so if I'm right on this, then what we're going to be looking at is this coming back down into, you know, this area. And in its correction. And let's see. And it was interesting. I tried to play this in September, got in like this, and then I gave myself 10 days, and I got out right here, and then we had this big whoosh and washout, and then never looked at getting back in. I just felt like it was just too uncertain as to what the heck the stock was doing, and then, of course, it takes off like a rocket. So that's my take on 3D systems. And the next one I'll look at is, we're doing a little bit of 3D XYZ tonight. Oh, I just had it there, US Steel. X. I think US Steel has had 3 moves, 1, 2. This was a little bit of a complex 2. And then I think a third wave up. And so now I think we're going to be pulling back and going through some corrective action in here. Might pull back as far as this fourth wave. It's hard to tell, but it should only correct, you know, really wave 2. So it could pull back like 38% to 50%, somewhere in this window, 23 to 24 would be my guess. Let's see, take a look at the Ys. Let's take a look at Yelp. Okay, Yelp, I got in when it pulled back to this blue line here. Now, in the future, I'm going to start being a little bit more cautious when the 10 is below that 20, okay? Because this is looking a little weaker than I would have liked. I'm still in it. I haven't gotten stopped out. My stop's down here around 60, which is a pretty big stop. But anyway, I think there's a chance that this thing turns around. If we truly have a fourth wave in here, it's getting kind of complex. That's the only thing. There's a possibility that we got a little head and shoulders, continuation head and shoulders here that would then, you know, cause this thing to, you know, do one of these and go up for a fifth wave. So that's what I am looking for on here, but we need to get it back above 71. Okay, so that's the next thing. Let's take a look at Yandex real quick. Where is it? There it is. Yandex was up very nicely today. I think it's back above the 10. I think the 10 is slightly above the 20. I think this thing is getting ready to pop. YOKU right here. YOKU, I got in at the blue line again. The 10's above the 20. Kind of paused. We're pulling in here. I'm expecting this thing to pull back around and continue this fifth wave up. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm still in it. And the last one I want to look at is Zillow, the Z. Okay. Now Zillow, you know, here's the big went public bar over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the first cycle wave up. Okay, so if we've truly completed the 5 waves up, then we're going to correct back down into this area down in here. So I think we're in the corrective action. So it's kind of interesting now. The market's pushing to new highs, but we're seeing various stocks who've kind of hit their 5-wave phase and are correcting, some who still have a 5th wave to push up. So it really depends on the sector, and it gets back to why we're always, you know, well, we talk about this a lot about having to pick the right stocks. So that's it for this evening. Talk to you guys again this weekend. Have a great Friday. This has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. Talk to you soon.